What is up everybody, this is Casper Trader back here with another video today, and boy do I have some good news for you guys today. Well, today is week 30 of our technically $2,000 to $100,000 challenge on Robinhood, and officially we have crossed over the $10,000 mark. Yes, we officially are in the 5 figures. Hopefully we won't drop below that soon, but right now we're in a healthy area. We're up over nearly $500 over the $10,000 mark, so we've got a little bit of a cushion there just in case there's some minor dips in the market. But hey, finally we've made it. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the stocks that I bought and sold over the last 2 weeks, just giving you guys an update on my portfolio as well as my future plans for stock buying opportunities that I'm going to probably take advantage of in the near future, meaning the next few weeks. So before we get into the video, I'd really appreciate you guys could smash that like button below and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys have not yet. I'd really appreciate it a ton. Alright guys, so starting off with the first thing and probably the most important thing, we did not trade options. So that's a big woohoo for us. We did not lose any money on options. We did not touch options. So that's good. That did not affect our portfolio in any way, shape, or form. And number 2, really good news as well. Remember that stock in the last video where I was down like $600 on? Well, we were down at a certain point like $650 on it, but now we're not down that bad on it. We're only down $310, and keyword in that sentence was only $310. But slowly but surely, I feel like this stock is going to rebound. And for those who don't know, TQQQ is a stock that tracks the overall stock market, except it's 3 times more volatile, meaning if the stock market goes up 1%, this stock goes up 3%, and then vice versa if it goes down. So right now what we're doing with this position is we're just holding. We just want to get in the profit and probably sell this off because I already learned my lesson right now. Do not buy and hold triple leverage stocks. Learn that lesson loud and clear. But the rest of our stocks are actually performing pretty well. We got Apple as one of our biggest positions, Facebook and Tesla. These are our top 3 positions in our portfolio. Microsoft is also a pretty decent position, but it's only around $600 and something. But yeah, we're going to be going over the bigger stocks that I'm holding, and we're going to be going over the stocks that I'm planning on buying that have a lot of potential to grow in the near future. So starting off with Apple, we got Apple right here, which is up 26%. We're still up a pretty decent amount on it. $244, almost $245. So I'm super happy about that. And our total market value on this is $1,174. With Apple, all I'm going to be doing is if I see any good opportunities, I will be buying a little bit of the stock just little by little. And if not, I'm perfectly fine with holding the position that I have with it. I think it makes up a decent portion of my portfolio, 11%. And then we got our, I think, second largest position. I think it's usually a tie between Apple and Facebook, who has the second largest position. So right here we got Facebook, which is actually our 3rd highest position. So Apple is our 2nd highest. But we've got $1,080 in the stock, and we're up around 20% or $180, which is definitely a great amount. I'm not complaining about that at all. Facebook is one of those stocks that I'm more interested in buying a little bit more of, because if you take a look at Apple stock compared to Facebook stock still has a little bit more to recover than Apple. At least that's what I feel. Like if you take a look at this chart and then compare it to Apple's chart, Apple hasn't really dipped down as much, and it's already been recovering pretty nicely. I just personally think that if I'm going to buy a stock, it'd be a little bit of Facebook first, and I'm not talking about big numbers. I'm talking just a fractional share here and there. I'd buy some Facebook first, and then I'd buy some Apple. And then moving on to our biggest and baddest, well not baddest, but our biggest position in our portfolio, which is Tesla. And on Tesla, we have bet a whopping $1,760, and happily, we're in the green. We're actually up $161 on this position. And if we take a look at the last 3 months, Tesla has not been affected too badly from this dip. It was at nearly the $500 mark here, but it's slowly recovering from that. I kind of see a pattern forming here, a little bit of a wedge. So I wonder if Tesla's going to actually explode in a certain direction. I'll have to take a closer look at that, but that is definitely something to look forward to. But yeah, Tesla, we're up around $160 on, doing fantastic. With Tesla, do I plan on buying more shares? Right now, it's just a really big part of my portfolio. It's around 16.8% of my portfolio. So I feel like I have enough Tesla shares in my portfolio. And if something further down the line, I'll be interested in buying if there's a huge discount or quote unquote dip in the stock market. But yeah, those are our top 3 positions in our portfolio. And I'm going to show you guys the next few that are also big positions. But then after that, we're going to go right into the stocks that I'm planning on buying in the next upcoming weeks. So some are also honorable mentions, I would say, for the portfolio, which are still a lot of money that we have invested in it, are Microsoft, which we actually have $700 invested in, made 15% or $90. So Microsoft also is on a pretty big dip, but I feel like I have enough Microsoft. I'm not as big of a fan of maybe Microsoft now as I am of maybe Apple or Facebook. I definitely was a bigger Microsoft stock fan before, but right now, if something, I would buy Facebook or Apple before I would buy some Microsoft stock. But there is one really good thing about Microsoft. It does pay a pretty decent dividend yield. And as you can see right here, we have had a recent dividend invested. Well, that was about a month ago. We had a dividend reinvested back into our position. So that's always nice. Just a little bit of a compounding effect happening right there. And then another big position that we also have in our portfolio, we're going to go over NextEra Energy and Skyworks, which are also pretty big positions. And so starting off with NextEra Energy, we've got $600 invested in the stock. We're up around 20% or $108. And with this stock has actually slowed down a little bit. Like in the last year, well, at least maybe not in the last year, in the last 9 months or so, this stock has not been moving much at all. Like it dipped down because the whole pandemic, started rebounding back, had a little bounce down, and then right now it's just sitting around the same spot since like the beginning of summer. Since midsummer, sorry about that. And I don't see the stock moving too much, but it does have a really nice dividend yield, which I keep reinvesting into my portfolio. We got $3 that come in 4 times per year. But the thing is, I don't see this company growing as much as it used to. Like this used to be some really consistent growth that the company used to see. But I did make a very big mistake on Procter & Gamble, which is a stock that was also growing very well for the last multiple years. But the time that I sold it, literally like a week after I sold it, the stock literally started to rebound and I would have made an extra like 12% on it if I held just an extra few months, and I was holding this stock for like half a year. So definitely I'm going to hold on to the stock. It's not like I'm going to dump my money into some other stock if I weren't having it in NextEra Energy. I like to keep it diversified, and I like the dividends that come in. So NextEra Energy, I'm good with it, and if something, I might sell in the future. And then we got Skyworks, which we also have around $600 in, which makes up around 6% of our portfolio. And we are up a whopping 12% on this. So that's not bad, because this is one of our more recent positions. And we've been buying little by little. I just did this and this for what you see here, just to make it a round even number that we have shares invested. So now we have 4.1. It used to be like 3.97992. Like, I don't want that number, so I decided to put like 50 cents in, just to have a nice round number when I look at my portfolio. But yeah, looking at Skyworks, we are definitely doing pretty good on this position. Am I looking to sell this? No, definitely not. I see that Skyworks Solutions has a lot of potential. Just planning on buying and holding. And this company does also pay dividends, so these dividends are going to be reinvested straight back into my position. So that's what we've got with Skyworks. Now, we're going to skim through the rest of our positions, but before we do that, I wanted to go over the stocks that I'm looking to buy in the following week. Well, maybe not exactly in the following week, but in the upcoming weeks, just stock opportunities that I see that are worth taking advantage of. So one of those stocks that I actually am very inspired to invest in by Jeremy from Financial Education is Dropbox. He has a really bullish thesis on this stock. I did watch multiple videos. I think he had 2 videos recently about this stock. And I did really see where he was coming from, and I see how this stock is under the value that it could be a few years down the line. So I think that this company has a lot of potential to grow. Right now, it's not a very expensive stock at all, and I could see this stock going to maybe $30, $40, $50 per share, if not more. So right now we have around $215 invested in it. I'm down around 6% because since I invested in it, it's just been dipping down slowly and slowly. But when there's another dip on the stock, I'm definitely looking to increase my position by at least another $100 or so, because I'm pretty bullish about this stock as well. But I just want to buy in at a dip so I can get into this stock at a better deal or a better price. So one of those stocks that I want to buy in the next upcoming weeks is Dropbox. And another one of those stocks, actually, before we get into that other stock, I actually wanted to mention that ARKG, which is a genomic revolution ETF. This is what I have invested some money into instead of Illumina. This stock has been doing absolutely insane for the last few weeks. If you take a look at the chart, in the last month, it's up 20%. Last 3 months, 22%. All right, but it's still growing really, really quickly. And especially right here, you can see that it had a little bit of a dip down right here. Dipped down, went back up to where it was at, and then it started just shooting back up. Happy that I invested in this stock. I made another extra 30 bucks on it, so I'm definitely not complaining. But yeah, this stock, I'm planning on holding it, not buying anymore, not selling it, but just wanted to share that with you guys. So another stock that I also wanted to mention was Work, and this is Slack. And I feel like Slack is one of those positions that I'm willing to take that aren't as big of an potential for return as Dropbox or something like Tesla, but I definitely do see some potential in the stock increasing in value. Definitely not as, it's not like a huge game-changing company like Tesla, but it's definitely something that has a lot of room to grow. So far we're up around 8% on our position, almost 9%. We did not invest a lot in this, but an extra $6 in profit definitely doesn't hurt. So with this stock, if something, I'm going to look to add maybe another $50, $60 into my position. Not much. I really like to be well diversified on these little stocks that have a lot of potential to grow. Not penny stocks, just these decent companies that have a lot of potential to 2x, 3x, or even more increase their stock price. So that's what I'm doing with Slack Technology. Slack. I'm just looking to add a little bit of money. So if this stock does double, I'll walk away with a nice $100 profit or so. That's just my plan with that. But one last stock that I do see some potential in, as you can see, I did hover my mouse over it for a second, so you probably can guess what it was, is Upwork. And this stock, I've actually been looking at it for a long time to see when is a good time to buy it, because it has just been shooting up like crazy since like mid-September. It was sitting around the price of $15 per share, just sitting there for months and months and months, probably since like July. It has had a big jumps up, but then right after it did have like those big bounces up, it did come back down. So what we're looking at right now is Upwork. And what I think is going to happen is, no, I don't really think it's going to bounce all the way back down to where it was, because this seems like a little bit more of a sustainable growth. It looks more of sustainable growth in the charts compared to something like this, which was like instant, where like instantly it jumped up from like $15 to $17 nearly per share. But here it's been a little bit more consistent, where one day it's at around here, a few days later it's been growing and growing and growing. So right now I think that what I have invested is amazing. I'm up 27%. Don't I wish I'd buy more? I mean, who wouldn't? But with Upwork, I feel like I can invest another $50 to $100 into this stock. I do see a lot of potential in this. I'm pretty sure I did use Upwork in the past, and I do really like their website. It's nice and modern, and it's easy to get around that website. So I think that Upwork has a pretty decent amount of potential, and I'm definitely not afraid to invest a few $100s into this stock. And do I see that the stock has the potential to double or triple? Yeah, I do, but a little bit of a safer estimate for me would be for this stock to grow 50%. Like for this stock to go to right now to 18, if it were to go to nearly $30 per share, that would be great. Great growth for this company. So Upwork, Slack, Upwork, Slack, and Dropbox are 3 stocks that aren't really huge stocks. Like, they're between $18 per share and $28 per share. These are some stocks that I'm looking to buy in the near future just to grow my position on it just a little bit, because I want to add maybe $50 to $100 into each one of those stocks in my Robinhood portfolio. So that's basically our portfolio for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and before I end the video, I just wanted to show you guys my all-time chart, show you guys that I'm currently down still around $400 on my chart. At a certain point I was up like $1,000, but because of the whole tech crash, I ended up in the loss. Like right now I'm in the loss, but I'm not afraid of that at all. I definitely see us growing back to the break-even point and then further on into the profit. So that's basically it for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.